we're going to now switch over and go through what a manual campaign is. So this is where you're actually telling Amazon what to target. We've gone over bidding strategies. Those don't change for this. Ad format, my opinion, doesn't change for this. We'll get down here to just click on one of those just to have one that Amazon sees is in this campaign. So for manual targeting, there's two types of manual targeting. There's keyword targeting and there's product targeting. For keyword targeting, this is where you're going to be going after customer search terms. So remember how I typed in business books at the beginning of this course? Well, that's where you're going to be using keyword targeting. Product targeting is where you're actually targeting product pages. So remember when I actually clicked on, I think it was 5 moves ahead. When I clicked on that, there was a bunch of ads that showed up in the ad carousel. That's where you're trying to get your display there. Product targeting will also get you, it basically says wherever this book is appearing, I want my book to appear too. So keywords, Amazon's going to give you some suggested ones. Whenever Amazon suggests something, I oftentimes don't go with it. So just, that's something to keep in mind maybe. And then if you could, so this is everything like suggested with keyword targeting. So you have the suggested bid, or you can do a custom bid. We do custom bids, or you can do default bids as well. Just saying, hey, set up for 23 cents and I'm all for 23 cents. And then you'll actually add the keywords. You actually will add the keywords. Just put in like, something like 33 cents. Custom bid. We'll click on enter list here. This is where you'll actually enter in like the word for that you want to target. You'll click add and Amazon will add it. If you are clicking on broad, phrase, and exact, Amazon will count that as 3 different targets. You can fit up to 1,000 targets in one ad group or campaign. So I was going to debunk all these myths at the end of this, but now you've got me fired up. People say people measure success. Okay, let me tell you. People measure success by oh, I have 100 campaigns, or wait, you only have 1 campaign set up. Like I get emails from people who say Alex, I don't see you creating new campaigns every week. What's going on here? And I think if you have, and that's again, part of my goals of this course is to debunk a lot of the myths around Amazon ads. And when it comes to campaigns are a tool at your disposal, but they're not the result themselves. And so what you're trying to do with a campaign, like a really well-running campaign, you'll never need to add a new campaign because you'll just be optimizing that campaign. You can add new keywords to that campaign. You can remove keywords that aren't working anymore. You can do so much for the campaign that people think oh, I'm just going to become a campaign machine. I'm just going to pump out 10 new campaigns every single day. It's that's just not how Amazon ads works. What you really need to be doing is focusing on, okay, I have a campaign, it's set up, it's not working. Why isn't it working? And then, diving in deeply, that way, instead of trying to just, flood your account with campaigns. All right. That's my 2 cents about that. Hopefully it didn't make anyone too angry, but coming in here, let's go back, remove these, and let's talk about the difference between broad, phrase, and exact. So there's a lot of really good charts. If you just, that was my attempt at typing in Google. If you just go to Google, or just Google, we're not going to talk about it. If I go what is the difference between broad, phrase, exact targeting, and you click images, there's a lot of really useful charts here. This is an example, blue scarf. This will show you the variations. This will help you kind of understand the difference between broad, phrase, and exact. Now, broad is essentially just the largest. You're saying Amazon target anything that's remotely includes this. Maybe it could even be spelled backwards. Okay, that's not it, but that's over exaggerating. But essentially, what you're doing here is your broadest targeting. Phrase is a little bit more constricted. You're having more control over what you're targeting. And then exact is no, I want you to target this specifically. So that is going over broad, phrase, and exact. Again, you can see them, a breakdown of here. You can see some background information, but my goal here is to give you stuff that you haven't heard elsewhere or can't just find yourself. So there you go. That is how to add keywords to a manual campaign. And then for a product campaign, this is where you will, you can target individual products or categories. So this is where I would recommend, if you are doing a product campaign, this is where I would recommend only targeting the ebook or only targeting the paperback. Why? Ebook readers usually read ebooks, paperback readers usually read paperbacks. And so it's a way of telling Amazon, like, show the most relevant thing to the most relevant audience. And so for, if you're targeting categories, you'll want to make sure you're paying attention to, like, this is books, this is Kindle store. Make sure that you're only targeting paperbacks for the paperback categories and ebooks for the Kindle store. And you can target categories. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And then you can also target individual products. Amazon will give you ones that are related, or you can search for ones. We'll talk about coming up with that list later on how to actually create, come up with, what products should I be targeting, but that is how you'll target products. And then same thing, you want to adjust to your custom bid or whatever you want to. If you want to start out with suggested bids, some people do that. That's a perfectly fine strategy. Then you can do, and I said earlier, I'm probably going to do this multiple times. I'm going to contradict myself, and that my apologies in advance. You can call me out on it. But I know I said earlier that Amazon, I don't usually do suggested things. Well, then you should be like, well, Alex, you said you don't do suggested things. Why would I ever do suggested? Look, it works for some people. The whole point of this, and the whole reason why I went over your habits as well, is because, like, the whole goal here is this is your journey and exploration on Amazon ads. And what works for one author isn't going to work for another. There's so many people out there who are like, I have the magic key to Amazon ads. Listen to me, do this for your book. And that's just not the case. It's if you are serious, maybe you'll get lucky with the first course or the first person you learn from. They'll be like, yeah, this works. I hope that's the case with this course. I hope you get to this course, end of this course, and you become a millionaire. You email me and you invite me on your yacht, and that would be great. I'd love that. If you're one of those people, my mailbox is open. I'm waiting for you. But I'm pretty sure you're going to have to, you are going to have to put some time into figuring out what works for you. So when it comes to suggested bids, all of this to say, if it comes to suggested bids, use the suggested bid. If that, if you want to give that a try, oftentimes they're a little bit more, on the aggressive side, which is great. I'm a big fan of going aggressive, but we usually do custom bids with ours. And just because I'm putting 33 cents, don't think that that's the bid that we usually use. So that should give you, I think I've pretty much gone on a monologue on every single portion of the campaign setup here. Hopefully that's been useful, and we will now jump into the next chapter.